So have you ever answered the door and there was like Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses and you're thinking, shit, why did I get dressed and answer the door? If I'd have known it was the Jehovah's Witnesses, I would have answered the door naked with a knife in my hand, chasing them down the street saying, succumb to my evil devil magic. But that's what this first woman did in this episode of Strange People in History.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mortika Lacrosse, and it's time for another
Strange People in History.
That's right. Let's start the show.
So this particular woman, Brandy Williams in Fillmore, California, there was Jehovah's Witnesses going from door to door, and, she opens up the door and there they are, and she opens it up and she was like naked and whatnot. And she had seen the men about 3 houses away from hers and decided right there to strip off her clothes and give these guys a memory soon they wouldn't forget. Deputy Sheriff Mick Ewan said Miss Williams thought it would be funny to answer the door in the nude and shock these young men. The two men sat stunned on her porch for a brief moment before returning to their bicycles. And I'm pretty sure they're familiar with like people doing all kinds of crazy stuff when they answer the door, but I bet they weren't expecting this. Like, they're like, we're going to preach the word of Christ and how only a certain amount of people will be saved in the end days because the end already happened. And they're knocking on the door, and then she answers it, and they're like, "Oh God, there's a naked woman!" And she didn't just stop there, so she's like chasing them down the streets, and she's like, "Succumb to my devil vagina magic!" And they're running for their lives. I'm sorry, I just think that's funny. Just imagine if you didn't know what's going on, you're in the next door neighbor, and you open the door, and you're like, "Oh look, there's Brandy. I took her over a pumpkin pie. I wonder if she finished the pumpkin pie. You know what? She probably didn't finish the pumpkin pie because she's chasing those random Jehovah's Witnesses down the street, for, knocking on the door. I bet they'll think twice about spreading their propagandist message next time at somebody's door thinking, you know what? There's a naked woman probably going to answer the door. I'm pretty sure, though, they went home and they were thinking, maybe we should have succumbed to her devil vagina magic. And here's the photo that I got from the news site for the strange person in history. And she seems quite pleased with herself and smiling in this photo. And honestly, in that photo, it doesn't look like they got her dressed when they took that mugshot. You'd think they would have got her dress for the mugshot, but that's why she's in this video of Strange People in History, because it's a strange thing to see a random naked woman chasing Jehovah's Witnesses down the street. It's also funny, though, and I wonder if any of them second-guessed the religion. They were like, man, I decided not to have sex before marriage. I wonder if he was like, I think that might have been a bad decision if all the women are good looking as her. I don't know. I mean, it's just a theory. But anyways, comment in the comment section of what you thought of this particular story. I'd love to hear your feedback. If you want to hear more of these kind of stories, then you know what to do. Because I always say that at the end of every video, which is hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified of future Strange People in History videos. So our next strange person in history for the Strange People in History video would be this particular woman on the screen. She served her cheating husband spaghetti with menstrual sauce. Yeah, her menstrual blood she decided would be a perfect thing to serve her husband. So you're thinking, hey Kai, why is this particular person in the Strange People in History video? And why exactly well, because she served her husband, like I said, spaghetti with menstrual blood sauce. This happened in Bakersfield, California. Jenny Smithson, her husband, Craig, was in the oil industry, and he often travels to Houston on business and everywhere else. And when he returned home from the last trip, she finds a pair of another woman's panties in her, husband's luggage. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to get revenge on him. I'm going to teach his ass a lesson. And her tampons that she had found also in his luggage. So I guess not only did he have another woman's panties, but he had her tampons in there too. And she's like, you know what? Friday night's usually pasta night here at this household. I'm going to make a special meal for my husband. And so she makes a special meal, and yeah, she took, her blood, and she had several cups of blood ready to add to the meaty sauce as she was ready to begin. Come Friday night, Craig came home from a long week of work, starving, ready for a meal, and he lapped up the meal in record time. How did he not know that his spaghetti sauce? Sorry, how did he not know that the spaghetti sauce had the menstrual blood? He's just sitting there eating like, This is the best spaghetti salsa I had. And she's like, yeah, Craig dear, guess what? That's my menstrual blood. Let's see. And once he found out, though, he called the cops on his wife. She was picked up for poisoning. Poisoning? The last time I checked, I don't think it can kill you. So I don't know how exactly she got arrested for poisoning her husband if it can't kill him. But apparently she was arrested for poisoning her husband and whatnot. But after her compulsory booking photo was finished, a smiling Jenny was driven home by Craig. So he called the cops. She was picked up for poisoning, but by the time he showed up at the station to make a report, she had already won over the cops by explaining that he was a cheater and even told jokes about him having a small penis. So yeah, he decided not to press charges because the cops were too busy laughing, and he just took that and he drove her home. It makes you think. I'm pretty sure after that the marriage was over with. I mean, if maybe not, though. Maybe he likes that kind of spaghetti. So anyways, tell me in the comment section what you thought of this particular story. That's why it's in this strange person in history video. And this guy that you see on your screen right now is the next strange person in history video. He's convict Larry Carmichael from Huntsville, Texas. And now I'm going to explain why exactly he's a strange person in history for this strange people in history video. So yeah, this guy comes up with this genius escape plan to get out of prison. That's why he's in the strange person in history video. So he comes up with a brilliant plan. He's like, I'm going to pretend to be dead. I'm going to get in the body bag and they're going to take me to the cremation place and then I'm going to escape. What he didn't factor in is the fact that he would lose consciousness due to the lack of oxygen because it's a fucking body bag. So he loses consciousness and then they take him to the cremation room and cremate him. So he got himself cremated accidentally while trying to escape prison. But hey, at least he escaped prison. But he also escaped life because he's dead. Now, this guy that you see on the screen, the reason this guy is another strange person in history for the strange people in history video is for the reason that he was removed from the plane. So stay tuned right now. I'm going to explain why. So this happened in Los Angeles, California, Spirit Flight 203 at LAX Airport. And a lot of these flight attendants had... kept on getting reports from like the other passengers, and they're like, there's this like really god awful trash kind of smell. And so they start trying to figure it out, and they pinpoint it, and it's this guy that he's not on the screen now, but Lewis Carmichael, the guy that you saw, and they come to find out he was the one farting. He was just like farting to the point where it was just too bad, and so he was forcibly removed from the airplane because he would not stop passing gas. Instead, a belligerent Carmichael refused to fess up to being the gas passenger. It was obviously all on board. This man was defiling the airplane, and that something needed to be done for the good of all passengers. But imagine how bad does that smell have to be that you're forcibly removed from the airplane because your gas passing is that bad? Like, could the pilot not take off? And he's like... and he's like choking, like, oh, get that guy off the airplane. And so that's why he's in the strange person in history video, because he was forcibly removed from the airplane because his farts were by far the smelliest. So World Guinness Book of Records, if you're watching this video, you should probably contact Lewis Carmichael and put him in the World Guinness Book of Records for the smelliest, most disgusting farts known to man. Now, this woman on your screen is the next strange person in history for this strange people in history video that you're watching now. Believe it or not, this woman that you just saw on your screen a few minutes ago is kind of another Treva Throneberry situation. If you haven't seen that previous strange people in history video, I'll leave that in the description bar down below. But check that video out. It's a video I did quite a while back, about a girl that was way much older and was pretending to be much younger. And that's what's in this particular situation. This woman stole her daughter's identity. In early 2016, a blonde stranger with round cheeks arrived at a domestic violence shelter near the small town of West Plains, Missouri. She said her name was Lauren Ashley Hayes and that she was 22 years old. The thing is, that wasn't true at all. So she tricked over these 2,160 residents, and they just believed that the way she looked was due to the supposed domestic violence situation. For the next 2.5 years, she thrived. They believed her story. She led time for the kids at the local library, appeared in a production of a Jesus-centered domestic violence play. Actually, a lot of the men in the town had a thing for her. They trusted her, and come to find out at one point, one of the people, they started to realize her lies just weren't adding up. Like, a lot of it didn't make sense. And so they finally did some investigation. She was lying about the people that were like kind of helping her out. That was kind of her adoptive parents. And come to find out, she's not even 20 years old at all. Like, she pretended to be her own daughter. They checked it out on Facebook. Thank God for social media, right? And they found out that she was none other than the woman's mother of the woman she was pretending to be. What is up with these people pretending to be like younger and whatnot? First, there was the Treva Throneberry story that I had before, which is in the description bar, and now this one. So anyways, that's what this story was. In the description bar down below will be the link to the video of the Treva Throneberry and any other of the links and whatnot. So check that description bar down below. Tell me what you thought of any of these Strange People in History videos. I'd love to hear your feedback. Thank you for watching. Like, comment on any of this. If you want to see more Strange People in History videos, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified of future Strange People in History videos. Anyways, thank you for watching. I've been your host, Kai. Until next time, peace out and stay strange.
I would like to begin with a poem in old-fashioned meter. Be good to us, and we'll be good to you. Be good to us, and we'll be good to you.